first question here says, how did you intend to achieve free education, good health services, good infrastructure, and economic stability? He said, I'm Victory Kingdom from FICT. He said, how do you intend to achieve free education, good health service, good infrastructure, and economic stability? Now, the second question says, we have to first be safe as people before enjoying a better educational system. Promise. I would like to know the structures and strategies in handling the security issues in the state and how you plan to protect the lives of your people. That's question 2. They have been telling us that the power to make change is in our PVC in the past 7 years, yet our vote doesn't count. Hence, we are in the competition we are in today. What are you putting in place to make sure our vote counts? This is INEC question, please. Okay, the next question says, this person says, as a Muslim, my question is this. If you are elected as governor, what will you do concerning religious issues in the state? And they ask question. And then the last question on my hand says, what if you do not win, or which I doubt, will you forget the We project? And if you win, will you attend to the people who did not support you? Your Excellency, please take the answers.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Well, there are a few questions that have been asked. The simpler ones are what happens to the We agenda if we do not win. First and foremost, I think that we still don't understand what the We agenda is about. The We agenda is about you. It's about me. It's about all of us. The We agenda is that you matter and that we must put your concerns first. And that by the special grace of God, you have to see yourselves as the reason the elections are taking place. You have to understand that elections are about you and not just about the persons whose names appear on the ballot. That you're voting for somebody in whom you see a bright future for yourself. So the persons that you vote for must be trusted vehicles that will help in the realization of your own aspirations for yourself. There is this disconnect that we always feel between the electorate and those of us whose names sometimes appear on the ballots. So if I approach my friend and I say, please support me, I want to go to the House of Reps, he thinks that what I am saying to him is, support me so I can go and become a big man. But if he begins to know that what I mean is that support me to go to the House of Reps so that I can go there and successfully and properly represent you, then the next question he will ask himself is whether or not I am qualified to truly represent him. The kind of representation that he expects, am I that person that can give him that representation? Because it's about him. But we don't ask those questions because we don't believe that elections are about us. So when you go to cast your vote, you're casting your vote for your future. The reason I stand here and say I want to be governor is because of you. Not so much because of me. So we'll be doing Rivers State a great favor if we decide to elect men and women of character. Men and women whose track record tell us that they can do it. Men and women who have both the heart and the head to deliver. It's not about me. It's about you. It's that you matter and you're very important, and you must know that this election is about you. You will not be going to cast your vote to make me governor. You'll be going to cast your vote so that I can give to you that future that you promised, that you seek to have. That future that I'm talking about now. You're going to cast your vote for me or for whosoever you believe will give you that future. So maybe we'll make it simple by saying that please endeavor to go have your PVCs and endeavor to go out and cast your votes. And that when you go, vote for that man or woman that can help expand this economy to accommodate all of us, that can help strengthen the institutions of states to hold all our aspirations. Look for that. It does not have to be Dumo Lulu Briggs. It has to be that man or woman that you believe can deliver for you. Because you want the good life. You must work for the good life. You want to experience the things that they experience in other climes. You must go out and do the things that they do in other climes. You can't do the same thing all over again and expect a different outcome, no. So I am hoping and praying that the message will resonate. The We agenda means that it is time for a collective where we come around together and give to ourselves a government that will provide opportunities for every Rivers man, every Rivers woman, and every Rivers child. And for you, the younger ones, let me tell you why it's more in your interest. I'm older than a lot of you here by at least 25, 30 years. And by natural progression, I will probably die some 25, 30 years before any of you will probably also die. So if you give to yourself a great state, you will enjoy that state at least 30 years more than I will enjoy it. And if things are bad, you will probably suffer it 30 years longer than I will suffer it. So you say education shall be free. The reason why education will be free or not will depend on the government that is in place and the priorities of that government. You say that your bursaries shall be paid. The reason why your bursaries will be paid will depend on the government in place and the priorities of that government. As I mentioned here, I went to public schools. Our public schools were great. Our parents struggled to send their kids to public schools. I didn't have the luxury of private education. I didn't. My parents were poor. They didn't have at the time. But we had the best of education in our public schools. I just mentioned to you that I was taught English by an Englishman at Government Comprehensive Secondary School. That is a public school owned by the Rivers State government. We were taught physics, chemistry, biology by Indians and Pakistanis. Not in our universities, in our secondary schools. We all had hostel accommodations, and hostel accommodations were free. We went to boarding schools and didn't have to pay for boarding. So that is the River State in which I grew up. The River State that gave opportunities to I, the son of a poor man. We had the point block, the podium block, built by DTSP in the 70s. These were high rises. We had a Rossi house, built by an individual. That was a high rise in River State in the 70s and early 80s. Today, those are perhaps the only high rises you see. But if you go to Lagos today, there are certain areas they will tell you, if you want to build anything less than 15 stories, keep your money. You don't qualify to be built. So you want to enjoy the good life. You want to see those big cities. You want to traverse those big cities. You need to work for it. So the appeal that I'm making is that you understand that this is about you and you rise up for yourself. Because if we think that it's about making Dumo Lulubris governor, we will not do the right thing. But if we understand that our vote is a vote for the sort of future that we want, then we'll take ourselves seriously. And that is the real message, that we can do it together. I can't do it alone. We have to work together as a people who understand this time for what it is. We are providing through HMOs free healthcare service for 10 elderly people, men and women, in every local government area of Rivers State. 10 in each local government area, old women and men over 70. So in all, we are providing free medical services for 230 old people through the HMOs. What that means is that if your mother is sick, all she needs to do is that you take her to the hospital and she will access Medicare for free for the next 1 year. Now, we're already doing that as a test run to see if it is working, how it works, so that we shall replicate it when we form government. And the next group of people that we are going to target are our children, our infants from 0 to 6. We want to see how we can provide free medical services for those ones who are quite vulnerable, the young and the old. So when I say that we shall provide health care, it's not time for campaign, so I don't want to go into campaign so it doesn't say that I'm campaigning. But I want to just put it that when I say that we shall provide health care that cares, we mean to provide health care that cares. When I say that we shall provide education that enlightens, we mean to provide education that enlightens. When I say that we shall provide the rule of law that guarantees your freedom, that's what I mean, that we provide the rule of law that guarantees your freedom. And when I say that I shall fill every minute with 60 seconds of productive activity for you, that's what I mean to do.